I will say, I've never heard of a rapper pulling up just to the crew has it 30 minutes early. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy.
I love it.
That's different.
That's that mogul shit, baby.
Yeah.
Last one to the airport buys breakfast. Day one.
All right, Michael. So this man needs no introduction.
Come on, bro, he's a legend.
We got a legend in the building.
We've been snapping. I ain't gonna lie, we've been having a lot of legendary folks on the joint lately. You know what I'm saying? We got the Snowman, man. We got Jeezy in here, man.
What's happening?
Jeezy in here. That's
What's
crazy.
good, bro? How you
What's the
doing?
word? Come on, baby. I ain't never had a bad day of my life. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
I'm here.
I love that. So, we like to go deep into like people, kind of how they got started and all that stuff, just because I was always a huge fan of you.
Okay.
You had the game on lock for how long?
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
That was my entire like high school growing up, like Young G, everything. So
Right.
I just want to hear like what was day one? What was the start of that, and what took you to here to now being like a mogul?
The start of the music, I was actually with some guys out of Florida that I was kind of getting some money with, and I went and hung out with them for like a Black Spring Break week. It was in like Daytona Beach, and they had a record label at the time, and they took a Winnebago down there. It was like, promoting their label and their artists. And I was like, damn, okay. So when I went back to Atlanta, I got one of my guys and went and bought a studio, right? And we went straight to the hood and found some artists, and we started doing our own thing. So when I first started, I was a CEO.
Damn,
I was trying to play
you wasn't even thinking about rapping.
No. I was trying to do the Baby Cash Money thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it just seemed like that was the way. And then, of course, some of the artists ended up getting into some serious situations where they had to go do some time. Then a couple of them went back to the streets to kind of do their thing.
Right.
So that left me with studio equipment, no artists, and a bunch of money invested. And one of my mans was like, shit, you might as well do it. You out here living this shit. So I was like, all right. So I started getting in, making songs here and there. And, of course, it took some years and, a few $1 million that you were spending over time.
Yeah.
And when I hooked up with Drama, DJ Drama, I just happened to have the music at a place where it was presentable.
Right.
And that took about 10 years. And what I did was, at the time, they was putting out mixtapes, so I didn't really understand how to monetize it.
Yeah.
So I felt like it made more sense for me to give it away. So my first mixtape, I pressed up almost like 100,000. And I went and passed them out on the east side of Atlanta, downtown. And I passed them out at this club. It was called Prime. And it was like the crack in this club on the east side on a Sunday night. So I kept passing them out there, and that's why I got my first book in that for $200. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna do with $200.
Yeah.
But that was my first money I made from rap. And then when Trap or Die, it was time for Trap or Die, because I was getting like little shows here and there. I pressed up 500,000, and then I took most of them to Miami for like Memorial Day weekend, and everywhere I went, I was just passing out CDs and the DVD because people were starting to like the music, but they didn't know what I looked like. So that's why I put the DVD with it, right? And this was around the time of like Smack DVD and all that shit. So that's how I kind of knew the move. And then it just kind of went from there. It started to slowly like gradually start to make sense, right? And all of a sudden, like Trap or Die was a real success. Now, mind you, I didn't make any money off of it, but it worked.
Right.
Right. And now I'm getting shows and I'm moving around, and this is how I got Def Jam's attention and all this shit.
Right.
And, shout out to Shakir Stewart, rest in peace. He took me up to Def Jam, and the rest was history.
Right.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So before you dropped like your first body of music or your first song, it was like 10. You said it was 10 years before that?
No, I was dropping music, but it wasn't. No, I was terrible. And I don't mean that in the sense of, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just knew that I love music, and I knew that I wanted to do music, but like I didn't understand like how to put together a song, how to get a.
You just going in there talking
Right, I was
shit.
just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I put out a couple projects. I put out like Lil J, Thuggin' Under Influence, which I think was like a double disc, and a few projects here and there. I was just trying to figure it out, right?
So that was your name first, Lil J.
Yeah, 'cause that's what my grandma and my uncles used to call me. I was trying to figure it out, but the real reason why, you know, the music resonated so much was because I was trying to avoid prison, right? And I was just like, I was really focused on figuring something out that wasn't going to put me in prison.
Right, kept you focused and
Yeah, because all the music you heard from Trapper, from what was the first mixtape? It was called G's Up. We ended up calling it Streets is Watching. Streets is Watching, Trapper Die, and Thug Motivation. All that time, I was really putting my heart and soul into music because I was under the impression that I was gonna get indicted.
I feel like you ain't no other choice, too.
Right. So it was like, if I at least get this done, you know, because you know, if you gotta go sit down 10, 15 years, you're gonna come out and be that guy. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, if I could at least get this done, no matter what happens, I did my best, and this will always be there.
I can come back to this if I need to.
Yeah, even if not, I still made my mark and I was heard. Because the whole thing is I just wanted to be heard.
Right.
Right. The money came later. And that's what I would tell anybody. Like, you know, the money is not, it shouldn't be the motive every time.
Yeah, because you ain't never going to make it if the money the motive. Because that shit don't ever come like this.
Yeah, it don't come.
You got to have a different type of
And if
motivation.
you basing your success off the money you're making, I definitely wasn't making Jay-Z and T.I. money at the time, so I couldn't base my success off that. But I was moving in the streets in a way that I was well respected, and you see that I had longevity. Right. It wasn't like a quick flash in the pan.
Right.
Yeah.
So as you know, we live in an increasingly automated world, but there are some things that do require tedious manual work.
Yeah, man, AI's taking over right now. But luckily for e-commerce business owners, shipping is no longer a manual task thanks to ShipStation. They got you covered.
It's so easy to use the ShipStation dashboard to manage your orders. There's a free trial and it's a quick setup. So now's the time to try ShipStation out if you've been on the fence.
ShipStation makes it easy to automate shipping tasks for orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. It has effortless integration anywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more.
You can manage every order from one simple dashboard. You can print shipping labels. You can easily compare rates and delivery times to optimize every single shipment. And you can automate delivery notifications. I mean, can it be easier?
Now look, with industry-leading discounts, you'll never worry about overpaying for shipping. You could get up to 84% off. I mean, that's damn near free to me.
That's basically free.
And that's all on USPS and UPS rates.
And if that's not enough, you know, the boys got you covered. You can use our promo code to try ShipStation free for 2 months. I mean, come on.
Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce business with ShipStation. And 98% of the customers that stick with ShipStation for a year, they end up becoming customers for life.
Damn, that's like the opposite of me, dude. My return rate is not great.
Look, spend some more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with ShipStation.
Make sure you go to ShipStation.com, use the code THECREW today, and sign up for your free 60-day trial.
That's ShipStation.com and use the code THECREW.
Listen, if you have a business, if you have any merch or anything, ShipStation is the company for you. Back to the episode. Specifically, do you remember a moment when you made something and you were like, I think I got where I needed to be musically?
Right.
Do you remember that moment, or was it just a gradual thing?
I think Trapper Die was the biggest thing for me.
Right.
Right. And then this is in no particular order.
Right.
I remember when I got signed to Def Jam, like I had a motive when I went over there. Because when Jay-Z came, I'm like, I'm getting Jay-Z on my album. I don't give a fuck what they talk about. Right? He's the president. He got to fuck with me.
Yeah.
And I played the album for the building, and I played Go Crazy. And when I was done, everybody started clapping and applauding. And I'm like, yeah, and I got to get Jay-Z on this, by the way. He's sitting in the room. And he was just like, you know. And I'm out in LA for, I think it was BT, something like that. It was some award show. And he called me to come up to his hotel. We just sitting on the patio just talking. He was like, I'm going to do the record, by the way. And I was just like, oh, shit.
Wow. What was that
you know
like?
what I'm saying? It was crazy
Yeah.
because it's like, you know, I grew up listening to those guys, but it was far-fetched. But the craziest thing is, like, you know, Kevin Lyles signed me, right? And Kevin Lyles, you know, it's Kevin Lyles, L.A. Reid, Shakir Stewart. Rest in peace, Shakir. And Kevin Lyles called me 2 weeks after I got signed. He was like, you know, I want you to know I'm going to Atlantic Records, but Kevin was my man. Right. So I felt like I need to go with you. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, you're going to be good. And I never forget it. I was going to the label, and this was like when I used to roll like 60, 70 deep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at Def Jam, and there's a bunch of us downstairs. We got to show our IDs to get in the building. And I see this Maybach pull up, and the doors open, and Jay-Z gets out. So he walks in by himself. He's like, yo, Jeezy. I was like, what's up, man? He's like, come on, you can roll with me. So my people still got to check in. So I'm going upstairs with Jay, and he like, yo, I'm the president. Whatever you need, let me know. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. And so when Kevin left, Jay-Z came, and it just, we just locked in, and it was just like the synergy that was there because, you had everybody from Rihanna to Neo to Kanye West, the Ross. It was just like a whole, like, we was like this big ass conglomerate. Right. And I was like the Tupac of that shit. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
When you were growing up, who was like, obviously Jay was someone you listened to, but like, it was Atlanta, so around maybe 17, 18, like who was kind of the people that you listened to?
Like 2017,
when you were around 17, 18, because that was right before you started making music, right?
Yeah, man, Tupac.
Yeah.
That was my guy, still is.
Even in the South, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because he
was everywhere though, bro.
Yeah. What it was he had morals and values, bro. Right. Like he stood for something. I ain't never seen no shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, damn, I want to be like that.
Especially from an artist too, it's kind of different. Like seeing that value in an artist is like, okay, like he's not just one of these artists.
You could tell from his upbringing why he would be like that, but I didn't have an upbringing like that. Right. Most of my family was working in like factories or hustling. It wasn't really nothing around morals. The only thing that was big that we kind of all had to do was go to church because my grandmother went to church, and she used to make me get up there and say those Easter speeches and shit. I hated it. Right. Oh my God, man. It was like I have to wear those crazy clothes and go do your Easter speech.
With the church.
You have to remember it and shit. You're nervous. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the biggest thing. But and even to this day, even when my grandmother passed, which she was basically my mother, but even now, when I get into things, I understand how grateful I am that she instilled faith in me because my parents didn't teach me about God or my grandmother made me go to church. She made me understand there was a higher power, and now, I'm just so glad that she did that because as an adult, I think I would be lost in that area, right? And faith is what keeps me going every day. So that's like my thing. So that's the only other person besides Tupac that really like had a message that was like, yo, you got to stand for this.
It meant something.
Right. So
when you were rolling like 60, 70 deep, that was like when you were at the peak. Like
no, when I was at my peak, I was like 200 for sure.
200
for sure. That's light. That's light.
Crazy.
There's some instances I might go down to Miami, like be 300-400 of us.
What?
It's like a cloud when we walk down the street. It's crazy,
That's
bro.
lit. Like, I be 50 deep. Think I'm lit with my bros. 300 deep is tough.
Until that tab come.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Until that tab come. That tab come.
What's the most you spent on a meal with the whole everyone?
About 30,000.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I was out with Chris Brown, and it was me, Chris Brown, Polo the Don, and we went to Philippe Child's.
Oh yeah, I like Philippe. I like Philippe.
We was just like this when I was just rolling. We all was out, and I was like, "Yo, let's go to Philippe Child's," because it was my favorite restaurant at the time, and it was like in the Gansevoort or something like that. Anyway, so we go. I got my crew. They got their crew.
Yeah,
I like 500.
It's crazy. Like we got the whole upstairs. Everybody's I'm like, nigga, you don't even eat steak. I want the filet mignon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that shit's
We
going
get the lobster tail.
Right,
you allergic to seafood. What you mean lobster tail?
So all that shit going on, then the bill coming. That nigga Chris Brown is real. He like, hey, man. He like, hey, man, no, I don't even play like that. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So that leaves me. And then
he was grabbing his pockets.
Right. I'm just like, but I had such a good name for going up there. I didn't want to mess up my relationship.
Right.
So I just went ahead and started paying for it. But then shout out to Polo the Don. He was like, no, I got something on it. So like, yeah.
Dinner is tough.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's the most we ever did on dinner? Probably like 7, 8.
Yeah, 7, 8. Yeah.
1,000?
Yeah.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I feel like the acting money is just a little. It's different. It's weird because on our show, we get treated as if we were musicians. We do walkthroughs.
Right.
We do, hosting,
shit
all
is
that
so
kind of
funny
stuff.
to me.
As actors, it's weird because that doesn't happen.
Right.
But we don't get paid like I feel like acting, there's more longevity.
Right.
But with music, there's more a lump sum of cash at one time.
Meaning when you do something.
Right. Like when you drop an album, you're getting like, you know,
Yep.
3-4 million. We're doing a season, it takes like 9 months.
Right.
We're filming over this time, so we're getting a little bread here.
Right.
So that's why like it's hard to like, you know, you
Right.
see the bank account, you're like, it's going up a little bit.
But I respect that you said that because not a lot of people like in your shoes would say 9, 10 million is a lot of money.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
"Fuck, that's
That's a
nothing."
lot of. I wouldn't spend that shit now. On
Yeah.
nothing, no.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not sponsored by Nod or
Yeah.
one of my spirit brands, I'm not coming out of my
It don't
pocket.
make no
That's what I had
sense
to
to.
learn though.
It don't make no
But
sense.
I feel like everyone has to go through that because
Yeah.
if immediately you're just like, well, why am I doing this? What's the
Yeah.
point? I'm not gonna have fun.
Yeah.
You have to go through that. I feel like, and you
to the point where you're like, I had
know more
enough
than me.
fun.
Well, the flip side of that is I started to understand that like you can use corporate money for this stuff, right?
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
they're gonna write it off, right? But if you go in your pocket and you count
can't really write a lot of things
$30,000,
off.
you ain't writing that shit off.
Yeah.
Like you could good riddance, it's gone.
Yeah.
But
You're
if
not
that
writing
had
that
to
shit
been set up a different way, I probably could have put that on my taxes and got
Yeah.
money off. And I say that to say like I learned that because when I first started my nonprofit, what I would do is go get money from all the hustlers in the neighborhood because I was hustling and we was keeping up noise, keeping the kids up, and go buy like Christmas gifts and put them in the local gymnasium and have all the families bring kids in there to get gifts. But I did that for like maybe 8 years,
Right.
not knowing that you can go get money from other people.
And they'll do
Yeah.
it for you.
Right.
Yeah, you don't
and
even
they'll
got to
help
put
you,
your own
right?
shit.
So I didn't know that, right?
Yeah.
Until I got into place. And it was just like, I remember having a conversation with Tony Robbins and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, yo, I want to buy these bikes for the kids. He's like, how many bikes you buying? I'm like, 1,000. He said, well, put 2,000. I'll buy 1,000. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So it just opened my eyes up. So I just let anybody know, like, you can still ball. You just got to have the right information so when you balling, it makes sense.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because that was a business expense.
Right.
You
I
write that
didn't-
right off.
You can write all the charities.
Exactly. You can write
Yeah.
that
No, I'm
straight
saying
up.
the dinner.
Oh yeah. Business meeting.
Right.
Business meeting. Fact.
Yeah.
That's a business meeting.
Right.
We do it all the time. Me and Mike are at Magic City throwing ones. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
we're doing a business meeting right now, right? We're gonna write all this off.
I mean, we
shit.
did talk about the podcast. so-
We got Jeezy on next week. All right, cool. We did it.
business meeting. That's a
That's
business
what's
meeting.
up. That's what's up. Y'all be in Magic City?
Yeah, I love Magic City. I ain't gonna lie.
We was there a couple
that
weeks
was the
ago.
first strip club I ever been to.
Oh my
That was
god.
the first strip club I
like
ever been
Magic
to.
City?
Nah, that's too much. I mean, I love Magic City, but I couldn't walk in Magic and not do at least 50,000. I look crazy.
Yeah, like you can't go in there and not throw.
Nah, I've set the precedent though. I've never been in there and not spent that.
That's
type
exactly.
Of money.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
because you set the tone already. It's
Yeah,
like
the girls look
I
at you
can't go in
crazy
there.
when you go in there.
They
I
gonna
went
look
in,
at the nigga.
we was shooting a video. I went in there like we was shooting a video in the parking lot, and I went in there, with my team or whatever. But I'm just sneaking in. To
See what's going on.
Go get some wings or whatever. And I'm sitting in there and I'm just hearing them talking. Oh, he must be broke. He ain't spending no money. I'm like, damn.
I can't
just
get some
can't get some
wings?
wings.
Can't get the lemon peppers? I'm just shooting the video outside. I'm just trying to get the lemon peppers. boy.
So y'all some love, man.
Nah, I get like that sometimes. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
no, it's real.
You can't step
But Magic had a lot to do with my career though. And shout out to DJ Fernando. I mean, I know you guys are too young to know what he did, but he was the one that made Magic City Mondays like legendary. It was unreal. I used to go in there and when I walk in the door, he's like, G's in the building, bring him 100,000.
Over
I
it.
bring 100,000 ones in a wheelbarrow.
Oh yeah, that's what
Like,
happened last
yeah,
time.
yeah.
They put on the wheelbarrow. I'm like, oh,
like
shit.
that's
And
how
we were with Chris Brown. That's
Oh, word?
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
They was wild. And they bought the
Makes a lot of
120.
sense.
I'm like, oh.
Right.
I set the
And
tone.
it ain't nothing until you out with some cats that be sliding the money over and put it in their pocket.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit. Yeah, all that goes.
I seen a lot of girls doing that.
Oh
night.
yeah, for sure.
They was like,
Yeah, for sure.
they
for
was
sure.
pocketing a lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, man, throw that shit.
I took some Def Jam execs in there and gave them some bread. And I looked up, I was like, where y'all money at? And they was like, now look in their bags like
a little bit
purses,
bigger than
yeah.
mine. Like your bag wasn't that big before we came in, but I'm gonna let you rock.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break from the episode and we're going to talk to you about our friends at Plant Made.
Plant Made is a hair growth product that never ever fails to impress.
Plant Made is completely vegan and they use high quality natural ingredients. And anyone and everyone can use Plant Made.
They have genderless and ageless products for all hair types, and you could also use it for beard growth.
I literally love the way that these products make my hair feel. It just feels so natural and fresh. You smell good.
Look good, taste good, smell good, feel good, all type of shit.
What do you mean by taste, my guy?
Nah, scrap that.
They're a trusted company and everything is handmade. On top of that, they're a Black female-owned business.
Now, listeners of the Crew Hazard can get 15% off their order online by using the code CREW at weareplantmade.com. weareplantmade.com.
So if you use the promo code CREW, you get 15% off, and this code can be combined with shipping discounts.
Once again, go to weareplantmade.com and use that code CREW for your 15% off your order online.
Listen, do you want to feel good, look good, just
Smell
be
good?
confident?
Come on now.
Plant Made.
Go get that.
They got you covered.
Go get that.
Back to the episode. But go on, you were telling the story about how he helped your career. Just
Fernando and Magic City, because that's where the music was broke at. Because so before music, Magic City was like my office, right? Because that's when my older cousins took me. I knew everything about it. There used to be this dude named Leprechaun. They call him Leprechaun. He's from the East Side. And Leprechaun, every time you went past Magic, whatever he was like, he used to have the NXSs back then, all the flies cars.
Right.
His car be
that's
sitting
fire.
right in the front. You know, he was just a short, light-skinned, cool guy that was giving money. You didn't really know a lot about him, but he was a street guy. And I used to go up there and meet my cousins and him, and I just started to naturally get an understanding that Magic City was the glue to
Like a
everything.
hub type
Music,
thing, right?
yeah, it was a hub. It was like the music, the streets, the policy, everything was in Magic City.
damn.
And then, of course, when I was in the streets and I was hustling, like that was my place to go because I knew like Magic and Charles, who runs it. And then I got to meet DJ Fernando, and we got really cool. And he was like the Monday night DJ. So for the Monday night DJ to play your song, it's a big deal.
Right.
And then you had to, of course, befriend the girls because they would dance to your music because they knew you. They're like, oh, that's such and such song.
Right.
Or that's Jeezy song.
Right.
So everybody see them dancing to this.
Yeah, and then that's how it kind of started. And I just remember at first I was a little nervous going there because I was a street guy that was getting money.
Right.
But I was trying to do music, so it's kind of corny.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of stood in the back and was just like, ah. And then I went in there one night. He had blew this song I had up with Bun B, and it was going up. And then I gave him the mixtape. He was like, bro, watch this. And I went in there maybe a couple months later, and everybody in this club was singing for like 3-4 hours straight, Trap or Die, word for word. The ad lib, it was the craziest shit I ever seen.
How crazy was that feeling when you walked
It was
in there?
crazy.
hearing
It was like that scene on Paid in Full where like the money is flying.
Yeah, and then you see
It
them
was
just looking
it's
at
just
it
like wow.
slow motion.
It was real, bro. Like
I think
I'm
I get
saying-
goosebumps so easily because I did, bro. That's crazy.
I'm telling you,
No,
that's
that was like one of the biggest moments in my career as far as like realizing like, oh shit,
This is what I can
this is
do.
happening.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Whether I'm with it or not, like I'm watching 3 hours. People just recite and these
Ain't gonna lie, 3
and
hours-
they
3 hours
had
is a long time.
they had drops on the mixtapes. So other DJs wouldn't play your tape or your music if it had
another DJ on
DJs
it.
drop, and they was playing. That's what made the Gangsta Grills series so big.
Right.
Because every other song you heard Gangsta Grizzles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what made it big because the music wasn't like it wasn't separate.
Right.
You couldn't get those songs unless you had the
It
tape.
was all on one type
Right.
of
Right. That's what made it big.
exclusive.
So you started touring how long after that? Who was your first tour with, and then when was your first headlining tour?
That's a good question. I think my first real tour was with Lil Wayne. And let me tell you,
Crazy ass tour.
Please. That's
For a first tour,
crazy.
too?
it was just me. He had Tyga, Nicki, Drake, and he still could have went in his Hot Boys. I used to pray he didn't bring Juvenile on them out. I was just hope they never got to be friends again. Because I'm like, if he bring Juvenile on them out, like what he doing? And it was crazy. Like, and this is what I noticed really quick. I had did some of those amphitheaters with other people, like that I was on tour with, but I hadn't been on tour with somebody like Wayne. And when I would go out there on these tours with whoever I was with, it was predominantly black.
Right.
Right? So you in Cleveland, you know what it is. When I went out with Wayne, I'm trying to do Chop or Die in front of 16-year-old white kids. They like, who the fuck is he and what does he talk about?
Different
He said
type
it's
of
slow,
audience.
it's terrible. It's like, and it's the same amphitheater.
Right.
It's all white kids. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then, every night I'm bombing. And then he bringing out Drake, Best I Ever Had, this, that, and the other. Nicki when she was blowing up Tyga.
That was my first concert. I'm curious if you were there.
I probably was. You probably missed me because they was just standing there looking at me. It was the worst shit ever. Yeah, it was bad, man.
Nah, but I knew like that was like Go Getter was out by then. No.
Yeah, but it
So
was
I knew like I was. I
it
listened
was
to all
weird
that.
because like in some markets I would do all right, but it was, and then I was going on early, so the sun was still up and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was
Nobody
like,
got their energy
right,
flowing
right,
yet.
right,
Like,
yeah, it was
different.
And then the second biggest tour I did was when I went out on the Blueprint 3 tour with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was big because
That's a fucking
he
tour.
kept it 100 too, because he could have been like, yo, you open up for me, then I come out. He didn't do that. He was like, yo, we're not doing a concert. We're doing a show. And he was like, you can use my production. I got to use his band, his monitors, and all the stuff. And then what he would do was he would come out on his set and he'll do like 30 minutes before I come out.
And he'd be like, yo, I got blah, blah, blah with me.
No, I'll come out of the ground.
Oh, no, he won't even tell nobody.
Yeah, and I come out. But this was the thing, though. When I
started,
this was the thing I started to realize, though. Because in the markets where I had, because this time I'm up now, I'm recession and all that. So in the markets that I'm at where I really got like Detroit and Chicago and all these places where they love me, people are coming to the show because they want to see me too.
Right.
So once Jay-Z come on, I'm not closing. Mm-hmm. So you're like, damn, we missed Jeezy set. And then you come out of the ground.
You come out the
They going fucking nuts. It was crazy, right? Yeah. And Hov was like, yeah. So one day I had Nicki Minaj. This is in New York at Madison Square Garden. I had Nicki Minaj, I had Drake, and this one right when Wayne was supposed to go to jail. So between every commercial you hear, latest news, Lil Wayne turns himself in, he's going to jail, today is the trial. I mean, whatever he had going on. Right. So that was the biggest thing in New York. And this was like the biggest talk of music culture. And I'm walking downstairs, I'm on the elevator, and I'm coming down at the London Hotel. And when the door opens up, I see Wayne. I said, damn, nigga, I thought you was in jail. He said, you're not gonna believe this. And this is the same night of the concert. He said the courthouse overflooded with water. So I gotta turn myself in tomorrow. I said, well, shit, what you doing tonight? I'm going up to my room. I was like, yo, you gotta come out of this concert with me. And so he said, yeah, I'll do it. So everybody thinks Lil Wayne is in jail, right? Damn. Everybody thinks he's in jail.
That's crazy.
And I bring Nicki out. We do one of her records. I'm like, hold on, you don't go anywhere. Then I bring Drake out. And then I bring Drake out. He do a record. And then I'm like, yo, let's do this one. So I'm going in with me, Drake, and Wayne. When Wayne comes out there, because everybody thinks he's in jail.
Yeah.
Man, the whole building just shaking. It's like the house is coming down. And I never forget, Jay was like, it's like, yo, man, how you not gonna tell me that? But, shout out to Wayne. Yeah, he killed it, bro. It was crazy.
That is absolutely crazy.
Everybody think he in jail. He's like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, how you doing? I swear to God. That's what happened.
That is crazy.
Yeah. His image is crazy.
I remember seeing him for the first time, bro. I was so young. I think I was like maybe 11. It was like my 11 or 12.
Yo,
I was me at a Lil Wayne concert. And I was literally, I think I was 11. I was in 6th grade. And when I saw him, my like young mind couldn't process it. I was like, I didn't think it was real. I was like, there's no way that's actually him. Like my mind couldn't process it.
Right.
And
it was AI.
Bro, I don't know what I remember thinking that. Right. And then I couldn't imagine being like, nah, he's in jail. That's not him.
Exactly,
right?
Bro. Like you'll be mine.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It was electrifying, man.
What was like the best cities that you like going to when you were touring?
Detroit for sure.
Yeah.
Chicago, DC.
Yeah.
DC, Baltimore. LA was dope too, because I was on a tour with Jay-Z. I brought out 2 people out, but I know I played like a snippet or something, and I saw everybody's face. And it was like, damn, if he bring out Ice Cube, and I'll be goddamn. Ice Cube came out and did Today Was a Good Day.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Oh my God.
I think I bring out Ice Cube and Too Short, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Too Short. I think Too Short did Blow the Whistle. Ice Cube did Today Was a Good Day.
we were
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Yo, we're going to take a break real quick and we're going to talk to you about our next sponsor, and they're called Bird Dogs.
If you've been with the Crew Housing for a while, you know the vibes. We wear Bird Dogs because they're comfortable.
Listen, we travel a lot. We be on a lot of flights. We got a lot of like appearances and all type of crazy stuff. We need to be comfortable. So we throw the Bird Dogs on. Bird Dogs stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look.
These shorts do the exact same thing as other brands, but look and fit way better. Okay, regular shorts or pants that are made of stiff, restricting cotton can be so restrictive. It's like, what's the point? Okay, they're like, I can't feel them. You know what I mean?
Nah, you can't restrict that. You gotta let that blossom. You gotta let that bloom. You know what I'm saying? Bird Dog also uses anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long, 24 hours.
Listen, they fixed the issue by inventing this cloud knit fabric that looks just like the khaki, but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. And listen, man, I'm always balling out. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta be in something comfortable. comfortable. I'm on set, Listen, we wear bird dogs to set because it's just comfortable. Sometimes we have that long ride to work. We put the bird dogs on. You sit, an hour in that car. It's not comfortable.
It's tough, man. Honestly, I wish we could just wear them like for the scene.
For the scene, dude.
Yeah, I really
we should
do.
get bird dogs on the show. That'd be fire.
Listen, go to birddogs.com/crew or enter the promo code crew for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order.
You won't want to take your bird dogs off. We promise you. There's only one reason for me to take the bird dogs off. And even then, I'm like, I don't know. They're comfortable. You know what I mean?
Listen, honestly, bro, I wear bird dogs everywhere. To the airport, to the gym.
What? I was just looking, dude. Go to birddogs.com/crew or enter promo code crew for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order.
What you looking for?
Bro, I'm just looking to see what bird dogs you had on. That's all.
I mean, like, you could have looked right here to see the color.
I know, but here's the thing. I did it, okay? That's birddogs.com/crew or promo code crew for a free Yeti-style tumbler. You won't want to take your bird dogs off. We promise you. So, after the tour stuff happened, like you obviously like still like went on tour, but you started focusing on other things. But now, if you could have told yourself one thing when you were touring, what would it have been? Like Jeezy
Touring
now,
back then?
yeah, like Jeezy now,
Right.
got to say something to Jeezy touring. What would it have been?
Yeah, I talk about it in the book. It was more so like I wish I would have been introduced to business then.
Right.
Because I would be so much farther now.
Right.
And I would have so much more understanding. But I was a little reserved about it because when you get that instant gratification, you get that fame and everything's coming, like you don't want to slow that train down because it's just like a high, right? And you're not thinking about 5 to 10 years from now. Like you kind of just thinking it's never gonna run out. This is it. And I was just in that space for a while, but I knew that I should be starting to think for the future, but I didn't have anyone around that I could talk to about it.
Right.
So I had to gradually start working my way into getting in different rooms and talking to people, because when you're doing what we do, whether it's street or music, if you don't have those type of people in your circle, it seems so far away.
Right.
Right. What's a tax ID number? What is that? What is this? What is that? You know what I'm saying? So you just don't know. And then you're getting money. So you're like, why would I go invest money that I might lose if I'm already getting money? Right. But that's not the way to think. And I think if I would have told myself that back then, I could probably be,
Billionaire.
But it's cool. It's coming. But I had to learn the hard way.
Right.
Right.
That's
And
the beauty
what
of
I'm
it though,
telling
because
about.
you learning now as you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Like,
And I think right now I'm more understanding about the knowledge that I'm giving. Like I'm not giving it any pushback, right? Because you learn something new every day. And for me, it's almost like I enjoy it because even at this point in my career, I still get to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like when you look at Cube, it's just like, that's Ice Cube.
Right.
But look at all the other things he's doing, right? And then look when everybody that was in the group with him, they're not doing those things because they didn't evolve. He did. He understood that there's other ways to do what I do and still remain to be Ice Cube, right? And for me, it was just like, I just had to find things that I can actually do, which was like real estate. That was a big one for me, still is. My spirit companies, like I owned Avion Tequila, built it, sold it to Pernova Card.
Yeah.
Yep, sold it and sold it, built it, sold it to Pernova Card, had shares, had equity in it and all that. Then I turned around and now I'm doing Nod Spirits with my partners out of Cognac France. We got vodka, gin, and cognac. I have my Defiance Fuel Water, which is who I'm partnered with at this water company, like an athletic water. Athlete's water, and just all the other business stuff that I've got. But now I have the time to like focus on those things, right? And even with the book, this is something that I wanted to do. But like then, I didn't have the bandwidth to do all those things, right? I just wanted to be on the stage, be back end shouty, is what we call it, like get my back end money,
back end,
right? And I just, I wanted to live life. Like I was You know, I wanted to have $30,000 meals and just you feel me? Like
That's kind of the stage I'm in now. Like
the $30,000 meal.
No.
He's like, listen, bro.
Say,
No,
damn,
like as
my
far
God.
as far as like, you know, like having those resources but like feeling so like far from them. Like last year, that's kind of like where I was. Like I felt like so far from certain things, and like now it's like I'm not holding myself back from like speaking to certain people, putting myself in certain rooms, because like I'm not really much of a conversation person, but like being in the field that I'm in, I'm like,
He's a hip podcast. He's not much of a conversation.
I mean, you can see it though, bro. I'm really not a talkative person. Like when it comes to just like really just having a conversation. Like, I don't know, bro. But
I had to learn that too, though.
yeah, that's the stage I'm in.
I was very standoffish about.
I'm bad with that.
Yeah,
shit.
so you know, so it takes time. But the dope thing about it is like once you get in that pocket, you'll see how much
And then you
information.
see the fruits coming from that.
Yeah, because you get information that you never knew. You're like, damn, well, that's easy.
Where was that corner where you turned it? Where you were like, was there a moment where you're like, okay, well now I want to start doing this, or was it more of like a fuck, like what was that switch?
Well, it was something. I always saw myself 3-piece suit, well manicured, good skin, wedding band, plain Jane watch. That was my vision, myself. Right. So that's what I was working towards. Right. That's what I was working towards. And then, you know, but I had a lot of setbacks. Right. But the last thing that happened, I was on tour with Wiz Khalifa, and we was doing like 20, 30,000 people a night. And the tour was going well, and we got to Oakland, and some type of way somebody got killed backstage by my tour bus, right? So then, you know, I happened to, because it was so much going on backstage, I happened to go to the hotel that night, and I normally stay and watch Wiz because he goes on right after me. Right. But I just felt like it was too much going on. So I went to a hotel, and my guys called me, and they was like, yo, don't come back. They searching our bus. They looking for you. I'm like, the fuck they looking for me for? So anyway, that goes on. They come and get me, right? And then we come back to L.A., and we get ready to do the show here in L.A., and when we get to the show, I call DJ Drama on the way there, and I go, hey, Drum, is everything cool? He goes, yeah. So I'll never call him again, by the way, because he's not the guy to call. So when I get there,
why is that?
Because when we get there, when I get there, like 60 police officers from the Bay and another 30 officers from LA surround my bus, take everybody off the bus, lock me up, lock everybody up, and now I'm in jail with 10 people with $1 million in bail apiece, right? So now I got to figure out how to get out of this shit. Yeah. And it's $10 million, you know, and then you still got to pay for everybody to fly back and forth to court. But when I left there, I'm used to having like money and shit on me, right? And just living. So when I got out of jail, I got us all out at the same time. So I didn't leave anybody, even though my team came to get me out the first day we got there. And I'm like, I can't leave them in LA in jail. Right. So I got to wait. And anyway, so I get out and we go shoot this video for Holy Ghost. And we shoot it on, I think, somewhere close to downtown LA. Yeah. And there was this kid, he was riding this bike, and he just rolled up, and I was like sitting in the back of this Rolls Royce, and he was just like, oh man. And he had the dirty shoes and shit. And naturally I would go in my pocket and give him some money and tell him to go buy some shoes. But I ain't had no money. I just got out of jail. It was like my lowest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt crazy. Not that I didn't have any paper. Right. I didn't have it on me. So I'm like, damn. And I'm just like, the fuck am I doing, right? And life just happened because I was more so mad at the police and then everything that happened because I didn't do anything. Right. So they cost me a lot of money on the flip side because there was a lot of deals that I had that were happening at that time that people took their money back and didn't want to be involved with me. And I'm like, damn, I ain't do shit, right? So I was really mad. And if you ask him when did I turn, I just told myself after that I'll never be a part of anything that I don't have ownership in. Because they took it back too easy. You know what I'm saying? They just like snatched the rug under my feet. And I'm just like, but you know, and there's no way to learn that you're still black after making this type of money than to learn that you're still black. They're like, nah, nigga.
Yeah. Let me get that. Let me get
like,
that.
Damn, you know, and it scared me because I'm like, damn, this is how I'm taking care of my family. And I'm trying to stay out of trouble, and trouble happened to find me. And what am I gonna do? And that's when I just took that turn. I just like, you know what? I just gotta do whatever I got to do to make sure that me and my people are straight, and to also set myself up for success outside of music, right, and outside of what I do, because I don't even know if that's gonna be there at some point, or even if I want to do that, right? Because now I'm on a tour. It's a great tour, and I didn't do anything, but trouble still found me.
Right.
So that can happen in anything
Anywhere.
now, right? So now I'm thinking like, I gotta make sure, I'm good. Like I gotta make sure I own shit. I got properties and I got business going on. I'm making money while I'm asleep, because if I don't, and I'm just depending on this, this cannot work out. Right. And then what do you do? And that's when I just took that turn. And again, I had to give myself permission to do so. And when I took it, it wasn't like the easiest thing, because a lot of people that was around didn't want to be around.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah,
next.
they didn't want to be around, because
So
it's a different type of thing.
Yeah, what was that like? A lot of the people that were coming to the dinners, did they not come anymore?
Nah, they didn't come anymore, because now
Just start changing.
I got smart accountants and CPAs. I got people that's running my companies like Agency 99, and they're telling me like, look, man, this is the bottom line. This is what you made. This is what you spending. This is what you got to play with. Woo. And I'm just like, oh well, with no more $30,000 dinners, and even I'm pacing myself at certain things that I do, because now I'm understanding how everything's working. Not that I didn't know before, but now I have a team of people that's letting me know, hey, look, this is what's going on. This is what we got coming up. So you might want to think about that. And then it's also like, why go out and mess up money that you can invest, right? And then I started making a lot of real estate plays, started doing all these things, and then I'm seeing it come back, and I'm like, damn, like this is what I need to be doing, right? And when you start moving like that, now you go into dinners where you're sitting down with people, and before you can even pull out your card, they paying the bill, right? After they give you information, and I'm starting to see it. So I lost a lot, but then I started to attract only quality people, right? And that was different. It wasn't fast though. It was like a big dark space where I was like going through a lot on my own, because it was like, man, I had everybody in the world. I could do anything, but now it's like, it's just me, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, all my old habits don't work no more. Like all my old vices ain't what I need to be doing, but I don't have any new vices, right? So now I got to figure it out. I'm asking people, man, you got all this money, what do you do? I got hobbies. Like, what the fuck is a hobby? You know what I'm saying? So
what do you like to do now?
Man, I boxing, golf.
I knew he was gonna say golf.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Bring out the putter.
Bring out my putter.
Just whatever. Like, fishing, whatever. Like deep sea fishing, all the stuff I really wanted to do when I was young and couldn't do.
I'm about to start golfing. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's cool, man. You get to
You
smoke
have
a couple.
60, 70 people on a boat. They're like, Jeezy, what are we doing out here fishing, man?
No, but that's what it was, because I would get yachts in Miami and it'd be like crazy, like
you still fishing, but it's like
they like
50 holes on
We're fishing for different things.
Right. But yeah, though, it was like, I just started to understand like there's just a quality of life, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be the one that's like preaching and telling people, hey, but at some point, even if you're getting money, you still gotta have a life. Right. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta have things and people around that make you feel like, this is worth living. Like, this is why you do this.
Yeah, no, I feel like obviously not only hip hop, but the world needs people like you, because people like us, without you, we could be going out to Magic City every night and doing this, and then all of a sudden we wind up in 10 years, we're off the show, we don't have this, and we're like, fuck.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying.
I would listen to Jeezy recommendations. You heard?
Is that where the book idea came from? You wanted to share the knowledge, or like when did that start?
I mean, even with the music, and like I said, a lot of it came from what I saw Pac doing. With his thug life movement, because if you're listening from the outside looking in, you think he's telling people to be crazy and go out here and do all these crimes, but actually he was against that, right? He had his issues and his things he was dealing with, but he was trying to relay a different message, and that's why my first project was called Thug Motivation, right? And because I wanted to let people understand that they're not out here alone and what they're going through, and this is how I did it. And it got all the way up to the Inspiration, which was the next album, and then the Recession. So you can see the pattern of knowledge that I'm trying to give to the people. So when the book thing came, it was like, and it happened during the pandemic, it was like, let me just sit down and really put my thoughts on pages and go back and, just process these things that I went through. Because it was a lot of trauma. It was a lot of things that I didn't unpack, right? And I just wanted to, because my first thing was somebody told me I should journal, but I'm like, that sounds like something, I don't know about that one. Yeah. But let me just write my life out. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that came from. And that's my attempt to pour in to this generation, and then pour into people who trying to be better today than they was yesterday, right? And all this is about obstacles and how do you navigate through that. And that's why it's called Adversity for Sale.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's that come
rather
from?
than Success for Sale, right? Because just like you guys do you're actors and you're on series and you're doing these things, it's gonna be some people that come up behind you that's gonna ask you, man, what was the you don't want somebody coming up and be saying, how did you do it? How did you make it? And you go, oh man, I just studied and stayed hard. No, you gotta be like, the question gotta be like, man, what was a real moment that you felt like this wasn't gonna work out? And even when it worked out, what was a moment that you was in where you felt like you didn't know how you was gonna go on? And what did you do at that point? Who'd you talk to? Who was in your corner? Like, these are things you gotta know, and that's why it's called adversity for sale. Because I'm not trying to sell nobody's success. You can go on Instagram for that. Everybody's successful.
Right.
Ain't nobody is real life.
Ain't nobody
only
losing
showing
on
their highest points in life on Instagram. Ain't nobody showing you what they really going through.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is because I think that, when I got into the ruts and just tight situations, I just had to get outside of my comfort zone to find the answers, and it wasn't normally from people that I would normally go to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because they're non-biased, they're listening to it and they're going, well, hey, if it was me and people were trying to kill me, I would do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, that actually makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it was like those type of conversations, and that's the stories that are in the book. It's basically like but it is a motivational memoir. So this is telling you my story, my humble beginnings. Because a lot of things people don't know. Like, I lived in Hawaii, I lived in Japan. I learned how to eat sushi in Japan. You know that, like you know what I mean. So it's like I had the best of both worlds.
Jeezy in Japan.
Yeah, I was there. I was definitely there. I got kicked off the island for stealing, but I was there.
Did you? That's in the book?
1,000. Yes, 1,000.
So you can't go back to Japan?
I mean, I probably could now.
Right?
Yeah, but yeah, I was a little hot over there.
Damn.
Yeah, I was tearing that PX up, man. I was best dressed for like 2 years
You got
straight.
that fly, huh?
Oh yeah, I was killing them. Like when they had the polos with the khakis and the duck heads and the water boots. I was the man. When they had cross colors with the high tech boots. Oh man, I was.
He was wilding out there.
Yeah.
I gotta get to
Obviously, I want people to read the book. I definitely need to.
I'm reading this shit
for
sure.
For sure. And I did the audiobook as well.
Oh, nice.
I did it in my voice, so I read the book.
Hell yes.
Yeah, for sure.
What was one of your favorite things to write in here, to give someone like a sneak preview? I don't want to like give anything away, but like what was like something that you just, because there's sometimes when I'm writing a script, like I can just pour out 5-6 pages, and other times I'm like, damn, this is tough.
I think the dopest thing was about the first entrepreneur I ever met, which was this guy who owned like a mechanic body shop in the neighborhood my grandmother lived in, but he also owned a couple houses over there. And my grandmother convinced him to take me in as, I guess as a mentor, you would call it back then. And he had this body shop. And what made me take the job is I saw this car radio that was like on the top of this pile of junk. It was like a pull-out. Remember they had the pull-out radios. Y'all was too young for that. Right? But the pull-out radios. And it was a generic one, right? But I wanted it so bad, so I took the job. And my first 3-4 days of the job, how I was moving the chair closer and closer when he went to sleep so I could steal the radio. Mind you, I don't got a car.
Yeah.
But I stole the radio.
Right?
And I stole it. And the reality of it was I took something that if I had asked him,
He would have just given it.
he would have given it to me. He probably wouldn't have paid me, but that taught me a valuable lesson. Instead of stealing something, you know what I'm saying? Just ask someone, right? And because to this day, he was probably one of the best people that I encountered, because he taught me a lot of things about just working and being, who I was trying to be. Right. And he gave me the space to do that. But what I do, I turn around and stole from him. Right. So
Did you stay in did he see any of your success afterwards?
No. He didn't. And even my grandmother, which is crazy because I always had a vision of me pulling up. My grandmother stayed beside this basketball court that all the hustlers and everybody came to on Sunday from towns and towns around and played ball. And everybody showed off their cars, and she stayed across the street. And I used to be like, damn, I can't wait to pull up.
Pull up my car.
And I'm going to pull up in this yellow Ferrari Testarossa and all this. And my grandma like, boy, you going to jail and you crazy. And so all the stuff that she saw me do, she thought that it was going to be my downfall. It ended up being my foundation. Right. And then I actually got a chance to come back to that same yard and front porch and park my yellow Testarossa there. Wow. But she wasn't here to see it, but because she had passed. But when I pulled up, I was like, Granny, we did it, baby. He pulled up in the yellow Testarossa, put it right there, hopped out, you know what I'm saying? And that was such a far goal.
I know you felt like you was floating on when you came out the car, you was walking.
It was surreal, but it also like solidify what I was thinking. It's just like you can do whatever you want in this life, man. If you stay focused and you stay grounded, right? Because it's not you, it's also the man above, right?
Right.
But if you're doing the right thing and you handling your business, everything you want is gonna come to you, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens? You just want more things. So you gotta just make sure the things that you want and the things that you're asking for are worthwhile because you're gonna get it, right? And what I learned is that's not always gonna make you happy.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have other things in your life to facilitate that because if you're chasing material things, you'll get them.
But you're not really living though.
Right, but you got to be living because the things that come with the materialistic things are harder to understand. Meaning, like you're gonna get friends, you don't really know if they're your friends. You're gonna get girls, if you don't know if you can trust them. It just attracts a different type of person.
Right.
But when you have the real riches, which is the real life and the real things and the good people around you, you're gonna get that stuff anyway. But you still know that the real is over here, and that's what you protect, right? Because I've been in situations where I had insurance on cars and didn't have insurance on myself.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
My priorities are fucked up.
My car good.
Right. More important to me.
I'm gonna be good if I might not, bro.
Right.
At least the Tesla Roadster
Right,
Gucci.
well insured. Full coverage.
I am motivated right now, but I also want to call my business manager. I'd see what's going on. No,
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Do you still like a car? Like, is there some stuff that you still kind of dabble in a little bit?
I still have a lot of cars.
Right, okay.
That's a man's best
he
friend.
has it.
Though. That's a man's best friend.
That's all right.
I mean, I do, but I don't think I would buy anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just me. I'm just like, there's nowhere to go.
Right.
Like, there's nothing for me to do. Like, when I used to live, like, cities felt so big, but when you get to a certain place in your life, they're so small, you don't have time.
Right.
Of course, they're cool to keep and have. I'm not like, do I think that's my best purchases ever? No. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, absolutely not.
You already did what you wanted to do, though. You pulled up in that yellow Tesla.
And I'm not gonna knock nobody from living your life,
Right.
but I'm just saying. But I would rather have more property.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a jet. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a boat. I like the water. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather, if I spent any money, it'll be in there. But it also takes up my quality of life, right?
Right.
And if I'm flying, on a jet, that means that I have more time. So this gives me more time to spend with my family, my friends, and my loved ones, or people I just like to be around because now I'm not hopping in and out of the airport. I can go, come
Straight.
back.
Straight
And I love the water. So if if and when I get a boat, if I, want to invite some people out, this is changing the quality of life, right? And I think being on the water is way better than being on this crazy ass LA traffic in a drop top. It's crazy.
It is. LA traffic disgusting.
Right? You feel me? Like, where you gonna go? You hit Beverly Hills a few times, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you stay? You stay in Atlanta still? Or you stay more out
Both.
here?
Yeah, both,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Hell yes, dude. I'm
reading this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Because it's the
make sure
stage
y'all
I'm
ready.
in life, bro. I'm like, it's a lot of like adversity right now. You feel me? Like it's a lot of me like
We can't even work. Look at us right now. We're the SAG's on strike.
It's crazy, right?
The actors are on strike. We physically, we have this,
Right.
which is because last year me and him were like, we have to expand.
That's what's up.
So now look,
paying for shit like
we're
this.
the only two dudes that are actors that can really work because
Wow.
of we built this thing together.
Wow.
So yeah, it is tough. We physically cannot get a paycheck because of the strike. And luckily a year
not
ago,
from our first profession.
Right.
We could get paychecks anywhere.
right.
We
But
getting
our
them
main
other
profession,
places.
our
But
main,
you guys had a backup plan,
Right.
And you were ready,
right.
and that's what it's really
now
about.
what we just
Because you
doing
got to
is-
imagine, the other guys your age that are sitting at home and putting their thumbs together, like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
And you guys y'all got some motion, man. So I'm giving y'all
keep it
flowers for
Right.
that.
I appreciate
You know what I'm saying?
that,
And
man.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question though, like, how's it feel playing all that gangster shit and people see you in the street and think that's really what's going on?
It's weird to me, though.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's so weird to me because like that's not me at all. But at the same time though, like I'm very close to that type of
Right,
shit.
right,
I
right,
grew up
right,
around it, like I got a lot of like but like that's not me at all. So then be coming to me like, yo, why you killed your pops? Why you did that? I'm like, yo, man. I'm like, bro, they made me do this shit. Like I'm just doing my job. Bro. You feel me? Like
Blame the writer.
yeah, you feel me, bro? Courtney, man, she got me doing all the crazy stuff. But
I feel like my character is so, except the killing and trapping, my character is so close to me.
oh yeah, nah, for sure.
So I don't like, I'm insane just like my character is, you know,
Okay.
except obviously there's the other line that
Right.
I don't cross. But I mean, I love it. People just show us mad love everywhere we go. So I think it's cool. Like I could be playing, I play the way that I look, I could be playing a fucking, I'd be on Riverdale, or I could be playing a vampire. But I get to fucking sell drugs on 50 show. I'm like, this is
my
cool as
God.
fuck.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
But do people like ever approach you like it's really real?
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Like, yo, what's up with them?
For sure. People cannot, like, I'm not Gianni. And
Right.
I'm Braden.
Nah,
No
the
matter where
funniest
I
shit
go.
be the funniest shit be like when they come to me, they be like, "Bro, please tell me you hitting all three of them on the TV show." I'm like, nigga, like, bro, like they all damn near engaged. Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh
yeah,
my
man.
God, that's what's up.
They be
man.
taking it very serious.
They cannot, like,
It's hard to differentiate it for them. It's hard for them. But I love it though, because it's like, damn, y'all really invested. Like y'all really tuned in. Like y'all
Just
really,
don't go Cuban Good and Jr. on them. You know what I'm saying?
nah. We gotta keep shit maintained, man. We gotta.
He went OJ and then come back.
Nah. We gotta
shout out to Cuba.
That's when all that stuff did happen. You're right.
Yeah. He played he played that role. He killed it.
What's the stuff you're watching now for TV? What do you like to watch?
You know, it's crazy. I really don't watch TV as much as I used to.
Right.
The thing I do now is like I'm just on a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah.
Man. It's
I feel
fascinating.
like stuff like that is more entertaining.
It's
than
fascinating, bro. Like I can't front.
Get
You
to
know
tap
what I'm
into
saying?
like
Yeah,
different
you
people's
get
minds
to
and see
learn
where their
something
mind
and-
is at.
Yeah, I really like podcasts because TV with me is like I feel like the best movies was back, like when the Scarfaces and
He's
the
just like, yeah,
Boys in the Hood.
He's just like, yeah.
Those were like movies to me. But it's like now they're different. Of course, the series are dope. But if I had a choice, like I would just sit down and watch a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I like documentaries too. Like,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
documentaries.
yeah.
They keep me glued. Like I feel like TV and movies, like the shit gotta be crazy for me to really just stay like locked in. But like documentaries, it's always new information. Always new information. Like damn, I want to figure out what's going on. So
I gotta catch this Dear Mama, this Tupac one. I've been saving it.
Yeah.
So I can get some time and just sit down and binge watch it.
yeah, I'm about to watch that too.
Did you ever have any encounters with 50 or like positive, negative, anything that was?
Nah, he always been cool with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we did some records. We did what was the name of the record? It was on his album though. I forget the name of the record. He came down to Atlanta. We shot the video. All the homies was there. He's cool.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. We were just with him 2 days ago. We went to a show in Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, he
And he
wanted-
just
The final lap tour. That shit was lit.
You ain't come out and do some songs?
Nah. I'm a producer now. I'm a producer. Like,
word?
yeah, I've been making beats for a very long time though.
Okay.
But like now I'm just I don't know, for some reason I just been in the mode, bro. Like before I came to LA, I was in the studio for like 4 days straight to like 8 in the morning, just cooking up, calling all my artist friends, yo, come cook out at the studio. So I'm working on my like dropping a mixtape with like a lot of my favorite artists.
Okay.
Like executively produced by me type thing.
I like that.
Yeah. So I want
like
like
that.
all the artists I really listen to a lot, I want to hear them on the mixtape, just beats produced by me.
That's it.
watch out, Metro. Watch out, Metro. But thank you so much for
Metro
your
was
time.
one of my biggest inspirations when I
Really?
started. Yeah, hell yeah. When I first started making beats, yeah, biggest inspiration. But
Metro?
yeah, for
so
sure.
he's
One of my
dope.
big
He's
him,
dope.
Zaytoven.
Yeah.
Zaytoven definitely number one though, because I started music really because
Do you know him?
I met him a few times. I don't really know
Let
him.
me know
bro.
if you need me to plug you. I got
Please, bro.
Yeah,
That would
it's
be
easy.
crazy. I want to
He
make
would
some. I
love
want to
that,
make
though.
some. I want to make something with him.
Yeah, he would love that.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
because I literally got into music because I heard the first song I heard, and I'm like, no, I want to play this. It was The Bridge Is Over. I was like 5 years old. I heard it by KRS-One. I heard it. And I got home on my piano that I never touched before, but we just had it, I guess, for decoration. I just started playing shit. My mom came down. She's like, what is that? I said, I don't know. I heard it at grandma's house. I just started playing it. Then after that, I played public service announcer.
Jay-Z joint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just fell in love with piano. So Zaytoven music is like very like musical theory, like real melodic and shit.
He's
So
dope.
I've always been in love
dope.
with that music. Hell yeah.
All right, this is my last question. We'll get you out of here. Who's someone that are there any artists right now that you listen to that you love or like
Now?
Yeah, now.
like-
Past like 5-6 years up until now. Is there anyone that
I love Dirk.
I love her.
I
Homie
love
right there.
I love 42 Doug.
Nice.
I
Free
think he's
Doug.
dope. And who else I like right now? Haiti Baby, which is I just signed him. He's from Stockton, California, but I'm actually a fan of his music.
Nice.
Who else, man? Payroll.
I heard
He's
that
from
name
Detroit.
before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I really like Payroll.
Nice.
Those are the guys I'm kind of
Hell
in my
yeah.
rotation.
I'm always curious who the OGs are listening to when. But thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We
y'all.
learned
Appreciate
so
y'all
much.
having me.
Plug your book. Plug
Adversity for
everything.
sale in stores August 8th. You can pre-order it now anywhere books are sold. That's Amazon. That's Audible. And I am reading the audio version, so holla at your boy.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Plus the spirits too, though. You got the spirits. You got all that.
Nod Cognac. Get it Nod. Defiance Fuel Water. You know what it is.
I got my bottle right here.
There you go, baby.
I'm hydrated.
Oh, I didn't get one.
Yeah, you drinking that bullshit,
dude.
You drinking that
This
bullshit.
tasted terrible anyway.
Love, man.
And Young Jeezy on Instagram.
No, just Jeezy.
Just Jeezy.
Yeah,
Got that.
Jeezy on Instagram.
Listen, man, the boys is on strike right now, so we podcasting heavy. I'm producing heavy. About to drop my tape soon with all my favorite artists. Where's 22 on YouTube? I got vlogs. Where's 22 on Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, man, y'all make sure like if you young, you getting money, and you kind of like you learning. Read this book though, cause I'm about to get into this, cause that's kind of like the stage I'm in. Like I'm ready to learn like a whole lot of new shit, cause like. Listen, man, we ain't gonna be able to, be doing what we're doing forever. So we gotta keep building, building.
Facts. Gianni V Paolo, Instagram, TikTok, Gianni vlogs dropping. We're being consistent.
What's consistent, man?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Get new merch. New Crew Has It merch is out. We got tees for the summer. So thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on, dropping some knowledge.
Legend.
Make sure you get his book. I can't wait to listen to this.
Don't listen to this shit and not apply some of the stuff y'all heard.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of stuff that can help you in life, and I'm gonna use this shit. I'm telling you that.
Give us
There you
one,
go.
Mike.
Listen, man, the crew has it, and yeah, we out here, man.
The crew has it, and you have it. Thank you so much, Jeezy. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you, legend. Appreciate you, legend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was fire. Thank you so much. I appreciate you pulling up.